Hello dear students, this is your English teacher Qaisar Bashir. Dear students, in this video I am going to talk about a very famous one-act play, which is the only play in your English text Stulip series for class 10. And the name of the play is The Proposal, written by Anton Chekhov. Let's get started. About the author. Anton Pavlovich Chekhov was born on 29th January 1860 and he died on 15th of July 1904. He was a Russian playwright and short story writer who is considered to be among the greatest writers of short fiction in history. His career as a playwright produced 4 classics, and his best short stories are held in high esteem by writers and critics. Along with Henrik Ibsen and August Strindberg, Chekhov is often referred to as one of the 3 seminal figures in the birth of early modernism in the theatre. Chekhov practiced as a medical doctor throughout most of his literary career. He once said, "Medicine is my lawful wife, and literature my mistress." Introduction. Dear students, The Proposal, originally titled A Marriage Proposal, is a one-act play by Anton Chekhov. What is a play? A play is a work of drama consisting mostly of dialogue between characters and is intended for theatrical performance rather than just reading. The Proposal was written in 1888 to 1889. It's about the tendency of wealthy families to seek ties with other rich families, to increase their estates by encouraging marriages that make good economic sense. Lomo, a wealthy neighbor of Chubko, also wealthy, comes to seek the hand of Chubko's 25-year-old daughter Natalia. All 3 are quarrelsome people, and they quarrel over petty issues. The marriage is in danger of being forgotten amidst all this quarreling. But economic good sense ensures that the proposal is made after all, although the quarreling perhaps continues. Dramatis personae, or characters. Dear students, there are 3 characters in the play. Number 1, Lomo. He is a landowner and Chubko's neighbor. Number 2, Natalia. She is Chubko's daughter. Number 3, Chubko. He is a landowner and Natalia's father. Dear students, I'll be talking about these characters in detail later. Summary of the play. Dear students, the scene opens in Chubko's drawing room. Lomo enters his neighbor Chubko's house fully dressed up in his evening attire. Chubko welcomes him, but is surprised to see him well dressed and asks him how he is getting on. Lomo reveals that he had come to make a request. Chubko assumes that he must have come to borrow money, which he doesn't intend on giving. On being revealed that Lomo had come to ask the hand of his daughter Natalia in marriage, Chubko gets filled with excitement and leaves to call his daughter. Lomo, a 35-year-old gentleman who suffers from palpitations, gets upset very easily and doesn't sleep well. He thinks it's the best age for him to get married, and is happy that he has his mind made up about Natalia. To him, Natalia is average-looking and a good housekeeper. As she arrives, Lomo starts the conversation about how grateful and glad he is that both their families are on good terms since the very beginning. While continuing to talk about his land, he somehow mentions about Oxen Meadows, which earlier was a disputed property but is now his. Natalia couldn't believe a word he was saying because she believes that Oxen Meadows belong to her family. Both of them enter into a heated discussion and act childishly when Chubko enters just to get the conversation more heated. They shout and scream while Lomo suffers from extreme pounding of the heart, a side pull, and an arm put. They throw Lomo out of the house and continue cursing him. While speaking ill of him, Chubko unintentionally reveals that he had come with a marriage proposal for Natalia, which surprises Natalia, and she immediately regrets sending him out. She tells her father to bring him back immediately, and Chubko curses himself on being a father of a grown-up daughter. When Lomo returns, Natalia tries to deviate to another topic and starts talking about shooting. Somehow they enter into an argument involving their dogs. Natalia feels that her squeezer is better than Lomo's guess. They continue arguing when Chubko enters the scene only to make the situation worse once again. Everyone gets hyper. Lomo finally falls due to his palpitations. Even then, the cursing continues when suddenly Natalia notices that he is unconscious. They try to get water down his throat but end up getting unsuccessful and declare him dead. It's only when Lomo moves a little bit that they make him drink some water. Chubko forcefully puts Lomo's hand into his daughter's, gives his blessings and asks them to kiss. Lomo, still not fully conscious, doesn't understand what is going on. When he finally comes to his senses, he expresses joy and excitement and kisses Natalia's hands. Natalia, being childish as she is, manipulates him into accepting that squeezer is better than guess. But Lomo, being adamant as he is, refuses to accept it. Thus, once again, the quarreling continues. Theme. Dear students, the major theme in the proposal is Chekhov's satire on the landowning class in 19th century Russia. The landowners were a small, privileged class who were notoriously conservative in clinging to old values that defined them. They knew their advantage in society was based mainly on owning land, as opposed to having a title of nobility. As a result, they opposed any reforms that would allow their peasants to own a piece of land. Chekhov makes fun of the landowners by depicting Lomo, Natalia, and Chubko as obsessed about ownership of a worthless tract called Oxen Meadows. The pride and greed are so extreme that they override a marriage proposal. Lomo calls Chubko a land grabber, but in truth, they all are. Let me now talk about the characters in the play. As I have already told you, there are 3 characters in the play. Number 1, Lomo. Number 2, Natalia. Number 3, Chubko. Lomo. Lomo is a hypochondriac who wants to get married for the sake of appearances. He doesn't seem to love Natalia, but decides to marry her because she is the best woman available. His difficulty coming to the point, which makes conversing with him difficult. Because of his tendency to digress, he becomes involved in silly arguments with Natalia and Chubko about land ownership and dogs. What seems more important to him is maintaining a superior appearance, which is also true of the other 2 characters. Natalia. Natalia is a strong-willed woman who is more effective than Lomo in speaking clearly and getting to the point. However, her will is focused on maintaining a superior appearance. As a result, she insists that Oxen Meadows belongs to her family and not Lomo. She also argues that her dog is better than Lomo's dog. Yet she feels the burden of being a potential, if not actual spinster, and thus desperately wants to marry Lomo. Despite this, her concern for being right about superficial matters takes precedence. Chubko. Chubko seems happy about the potential marriage between Lomo and Natalia. However, he sees marriage in a mercenary way, referring to Lomo's proposal as a merchant buying goods. For him, the match is advantageous as a good business arrangement for both families. Whether Lomo and Natalia really love each other probably doesn't matter much. Despite his eagerness for the marriage to happen, Chubko places greater value on maintaining a superior appearance. As a result, he gets embroiled in the inane arguments between Lomo and Natalia. Dear students, this was all about the one-act play, The Proposal. I'll be talking about the elements of the drama in the next video. And I will meet you with the video very soon. Till then, stay blessed. Khuda Hafiz.